Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org. Love Boise State Public Radio podcasts? They are free to enjoy, but not free to produce. If you can give, your support helps keep shows like Idaho Matters and Scandalize available to everyone. Donate now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
It's The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Troy Oppie. Here are your headlines for Wednesday, April 29th. Tuition at Idaho's 4 colleges and universities is going up. Staffers at the Idaho Statesman are ready to strike as a fight for higher wages continues. And Valley County Commissioners say their hands are tied as bigger and busier homes are built across the county. But first, we head to Boise County, where County Commissioner Lindy Lindstrom denies stabbing a teenaged girl during a Riverside altercation with her family last August and has now filed a countersuit. Julie Luqueta has more.
In a court document filed on Monday, Lindstrom denied the accusations and filed a counterclaim against the family. Abby Beard, her teen daughter and young adult son, filed a lawsuit at the beginning of April alleging Lindstrom and 3 other men aggressively approached them on the banks of the Payette River last year, resulting in an altercation with the commissioner. The lawsuit states that Abby brandished a knife in fear. Lindstrom wrestled it away from her and threatened to kill her. Abby's daughter, a minor, tried to intervene, which is when they contend he stabbed the teen in the leg. In his counterclaim, Lindstrom says a belligerent group of people yelled profanities at his rafting party and attacked one of the men from his group of friends. Upon hearing of the assault, Lindstrom went to assist. He says Abby brandished a knife in a, quote, angry and aggressive manner, and he intervened to stop her from, quote, committing violence with a deadly weapon. He suffered a cut on his hand as a result of the altercation. The countersuit also says that while Lindstrom was defending himself, the teen girl and adult son hit him. The commissioner is seeking damages for pain, suffering, and severe emotional distress. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
Caldwell police say they recently had to use a canine dog and less than lethal ammunition to bring a domestic violence suspect into custody. The city in a news release says just after noon on Sunday, a suspect was spotted on Hannibal Street near Interstate 84 between the 11th Avenue and Centennial exits. That suspect refused officers' verbal commands and police say became aggressive. The suspect was shot in the shin with a less than lethal round. Police say a canine was then deployed after the suspect continued to be aggressive. The suspect was treated at a hospital and released into police custody on multiple charges related to domestic violence and resisting arrest. A Moscow developer affiliated with a Christian nationalist religious group cannot prop up a music and dance school in the city's downtown. James Dawson explains why.
Developer Rusty Olps says he's about to close on the prime downtown Moscow location this week, which was previously a bicycle shop. He told the city's Board of Adjustment on Monday that offering music and dance lessons, along with Sunday church services, would uphold the town's reputation as Idaho's heart of the arts.
It seems like having venues in the downtown corridor where people can learn the arts would be in line with sort of the greater aesthetic and cultural vision for Moscow.
While church services are automatically allowed in downtown Moscow, educational services need permission from the city. Olps' ties with Christchurch pastor Doug Wilson brought out dozens of people urging the board to deny the permit application. That pushback resonated with Vice Chair Tim Thompson.
I have a hard time believing that this is harmonious with the culture and the perception of what the downtown core really stands for.
It's unclear if Olps will appeal the decision. He didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
The union representing 19 Idaho Statesman staff members is ready to go on strike against parent company McClatchy after months of failed contract negotiations. Jackson Holmes reports on workers' demands.
We're not asking for the sky. No one's trying to get rich. We just want to be able to afford to live in our communities. That's Michael Licklama, chair of the Idaho News Guild. He says last Thursday's pledge to strike is part of a nearly year-long negotiation between the Idaho News Guild Union and California-based McClatchy Media. The primary goal of the union is to secure higher wages. Licklama says many Statesman employees don't make enough to afford necessities. He says McClatchy's pay hasn't kept up with inflation, and workers are actually making less than they did when the union signed its first contract in 2022.
Workers are struggling every day just to get by, yet McClatchy always seems to have money for the latest AI toy.
McClatchy's adoption of artificial intelligence is another concern for reporters in the union. In 2025, the Idaho Statesman AI integration technology falsely claimed a local brewery was closing, causing a plunge in sales. Licklama says the company is also not keen on the disclosure of AI-generated content.
As a reader of the Idaho Statesman, you deserve to know whether or not the story you're reading was written by AI or not. And that is something that we're having to fight the company about.
The Idaho News Guild partnered with the Washington News Guild in voting to pledge to strike, but the union isn't sharing what conditions would cause them to walk off the job. Jackson Holmes, Boise State Public Radio News.
Tuition at Idaho's 4 state schools is going up this fall. The State Board of Education this week approved the largest tuition hikes in years, 4.5% at Boise State and the University of Idaho, 4.7% at Idaho State, which in real money is $425 more every semester at those 3 schools for undergrad tuition. At Lewis Clark State College, tuition will go up $350 in the fall, and that's 4.4%. Boise State told the board the fee increases were needed, even as enrollment is up and the school is eliminating some programs. Boise State needs to hire engineering and health sciences faculty, the school told the board. Idaho Ed News reports the tuition hike at Boise State was reduced from an initial proposal of 6.5%. The increases were the largest in a single year since before the COVID-19 pandemic. Valley County commissioners say their hands are tied by state law when it comes to regulating potential residential developments in the county. Anyone could, for example, build a 20,000 square foot single-family home with a significant number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and recreation on site. Now, that may be well beyond the character of an existing neighborhood. Large volumes of visitors, if a residential property is used as an event venue or short-term rental, could be disruptive to nearby residents. On its meeting agenda Monday, the Valley County Commission discussed the possibility of surveying residents on a limit to building sizes for new single-family homes. That discussion is centered on private property rights and the bill passed by lawmakers blocking local governments from restricting owners from offering short-term rentals. Here's an exchange between Commissioner Caitlin Caldwell and Valley County Commission Chair Sherry Maupin.
Concerned about the impact on property rights here. We're telling people what they can do with their property, and I understand there's impacts to their neighbors. I think that's why CC&Rs are important, and I don't know how I feel about limiting, because that's taking away a property right.
Which I'm fine with, but we're going to start getting the calls when, there's 100 people parked in somebody's field.
And I think we need to give them our state legislators' number that took away the ability for the county to have short-term rental permits.
Valley County Commissioners Monday did not vote to move forward with a survey on potential size limits for new single-family homes, but commissioners say they'll continue to monitor new development requests and feedback from the community. The West Ada School District is moving forward with 2 major building projects to address rapid growth. Board of Trustees unanimously approved plans for a new elementary at the current Lake Hazel Elementary site in Meridian. District leaders say enrollment in that area is expected to grow more than 220 students over the next 5 years. The district will also convert a vacant warehouse on Locust Grove into a new career technical education center with programs focused on construction, welding, power sports, and future programs. Both projects will be funded through state support and existing financial planning. 2024's House Bill 521 created a statewide fund that schools can use for capital projects. West Ada Schools says it will be able to complete these 2 projects without raising taxes. Final costs will be approved after bids are received. Projects are expected to be completed by August 2027. The Idaho Steelheads season has come to an end. The Steelies eliminated from the Kelly Cup Playoff Mountain Division semifinals in 5 games by the Allen Americans. The 2 teams were tied at 3 going into the 3rd period of last night's Game 5, the 5th game in 6 nights. Allen took the lead 8 minutes into the third, scored again on a power play goal and an empty netter in the final moments to take Game 5 6-3 and the series. Idaho finished its season with a 43-27 record, plus 8 overtime or shootout losses, including the playoffs. And thanks for listening to The Connector on this Wednesday morning from Boise State Public Radio News. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our digital strategy manager is Lacey Daly, and I'm Troy Oppie. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for another episode. Make it a great day.
If you like podcasts like this, explore more from the Boise State Public Radio podcast family. There you'll find a mix of daily news, Idaho Voices, and in-depth series on a wide range of topics. I'm talking wild horses, political scandals, sustainable ranching, and militia groups in a post-January 6th world. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search Boise State Public Radio to find what Idaho's NPR station has in store for you.